Welcome everybody. This is our first episode of Provisions Garage Car Stories. We got my co-partner here, Matt Morris. You want to tell a little bit about yourself?
Matt Morris, fairly recent car enthusiast. My son here, along with my other son Gabe, got me into cars late in life, and also suckered me into doing this new YouTube channel. So I'm excited to be here.
Alrighty. So first, we're going to start off with a little bit of car background. So what we drive now currently, what we're aspiring to get next, a little bit of our track focus, stuff like that. So once again, my name is Ethan. I currently drive a E36 M3. I've had that for a few months. Recently just sold my G7 M2. Building my E36 currently. So super excited about that.
And as you can see, our little backdrop here, this is not AI generated. This is a GT4 RS. And so you can see that I've fallen hard for what I call car disease, which is an incurable affliction. I've had this since June. There's kind of a cool story how we were able to get the car. It's been absolutely amazing. I'm still trying to learn the car. I also had my first experience a couple years ago. I purchased a BMW M3. Mm-hmm. It was a G80 rear-wheel drive. Unfortunately, that car met its demise. We'll have to tell that story maybe for another episode.
So it's a pretty interesting story for another episode, but I want to talk about how you got into cars, the story of how you purchased your first vehicle to get into cars. So can you talk a little bit about how that happened?
Yeah, so my whole life I drove crappy cars. And I honestly didn't really know anything about cars, and I certainly wasn't involved in the car community at all. And so what ended up happening is, my son Gabe, got involved in cars, mm-hmm. and something I've always said is like, hey, one day, I'll buy a decent car, and so I had this Jeep Cherokee. It had about 170,000 miles.
Some good miles on it.
Yeah, so it was getting there. It was getting up there, and both Gabe and Ethan here are asking me, hey, why don't you get a car or something nice that you can do rallies
and the answer was in a few years when this car was done. So
I didn't want to spend the money.
Right.
I mean, it's kind of a big deal when you the first time you get something decent. It's kind of like a big leap of faith here.
Exactly.
So what ended up happening was I had loaned the car to Gabe.
We'll have him on here. We'll have him on.
Yeah, we'll have him on. So I lent the car, the Jeep Cherokee, to Gabe for the weekend. His car was in the shop.
Yeah, his car was in the shop. He had a 135 at the time. He's come a long way from that, but it was down. He blew the turbo or something stupid like that, and he had lent him the car, and we were actually driving to baseball. This is 3 years ago, probably.
Yeah, about 3 years ago.
Driving to baseball, and we get a call, hey, Dad, I'm okay, but I just got in a wreck. So we bolted over there. All I see is a white blur that's just smashed everywhere. So we walk up. Thankfully, he was okay. It was a unfortunate situation, but came fortunate for at least.
Yeah, so interesting, right? So Gabe was driving home. Unfortunately, driving to bring the car back, got into an accident, 5-car accident. Fortunately, okay, 100% okay. Ethan and I, Dana, my wife, Ethan's mom, of course. So we ride up there. Once we knew everything was okay, Ethan here was asking me, he's like, okay, Dad, what are you going to get?
Yeah, at the crash site. I was like, what are you going to get?
So, hey, you know what? If I'm going to get something, I mean, now would be the time, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so I think what originally your thought process was to get into next was an RS3. You wanted an Audi. You wanted an Audi.
Yeah.
So soon enough, the insurance check came in, whatever. He's like, all right, it's time to get something. Right. So we went over to Tampa Audi. They had an RS3. So we get there, and it was an allocation car from a customer that was in the system.
Well, the thing that was total BS about the whole thing was, I was trying to figure out, what I wanted to get, right? So I tried different cars out, checked some vehicles out. I'm like, okay, I settled on the RS3, and my rationale for the RS3 was I wanted a sedan because I wanted something that would be dailyable. But practical.
Yeah.
But I also wanted something that I could go on rallies and even take to the track, and I didn't want to break the bank. So the RS3,
good
you know,
option.
as a brand new, it was probably what, like 60, 70,
low 70s,
around there. So the story was I found one at Tampa Audi. And I actually called and I said, hey, you got the RS3? And they're like, yeah, it's here, it's available. So I'm like, all right. So we all hopped in the car, piled in the car.
Yeah.
And we started riding up there.
Yeah, so we got there. The car ended up already being allocated to another customer. So I was like, well, shit. I was super excited about it. He was getting off the rails about it. He's like, I'm just going to get something practical for a few more years, then I'll upgrade. So I was looking at my phone to see what was in the area. And I was like, Dad, come next door. He's like, oh, I don't want to. Finally got him to agree to go over next door to BMW. Couldn't find a parking spot. He was leaving, and then my mom was
driving. I was like, forget this.
Yeah, forget it.
Parking.
Yeah, whatever.
Because the Audi dealership and the BMW dealership were right next to each other.
Yeah, exactly.
So he was on his phone and said, hey, there's a brand new M3.
Yeah, which you didn't even know what that was, pretty much.
I'll be honest, not really. So, but he says, it's a brand new M3. They just got it. Let's go look at it. I'm like, forget it. I was pissed about the RS3. My heart was set on it. I wanted to get that car. And then when I went there and like, oh, I'm so sorry. It was an allocation. The customer's flying in from New Jersey to drive it home. I was pissed.
Yeah.
Then we couldn't park. I'm like, screw it, let's go. He's like, no.
I was not letting it happen. It was beautiful car. I was seeing it online. He didn't really have an idea of what that car was yet. So we finally get into a spot. We go in, and I always laugh about this because I think it's funny. I had a IMG Academy baseball shirt on. If you guys know what that is, it's like $200,000 a year. Like, what's the word for it?
I mean, it's a very high end prep school. You know, he went there for a camp. So yeah, I mean, so the
salesman saw the shirt.
The
salesman saw the shirt, and we're like, hey, we saw this M3, and this is 2023. This is pretty much one of the first. It was the first LCI, super cool cars, hard to get. They all had markups on them.
Yeah, so 2023. So the G80, you know, now you see a lot of them. I think back then it wasn't. They were kind of rare. And there were like it was still kind of markups and all that. And the funny thing is, he mentions that shirt. I don't think we would have been able to test drive the car because what happened was I'm just rolling in, and we're talking to the salesman. He's like, hey, we'd like to check out the M3. She's like, what do you have now? So how do I answer that?
As we're getting into the car.
No, we hadn't got the car yet. Because what happened was he goes, what do you drive now? And I said, well, actually, right now I don't have a car. Right?
Yeah, right? Yes, exactly.
And then he looks at me like sideways, like a dog does when you're trying to talk to your dog. And then he goes, okay, so what's the story with that? I'm like, well, my car was wrecked. And he goes, what kind of car was it? I was like, it was a Jeep Cherokee. And he's like, look at me this. And he's like, you want to see the M3? So he's like, okay, I'll take it. So then he sees the shirt. He's thinking, okay.
Yeah. So we get into the car. I didn't even say anything because I was like, I knew that the car was a special car. I knew that it had 7 miles on it. You know, we're not getting a test drive. So I kind of just played it out like I didn't confirm or deny that
because he didn't go to school there. He just went to a camp. So, but he's like, IMG Academy, and like we're kind of realizing here that he's probably not going to let us even test drive a car because. Like, for one, I'm saying I don't have a car, and the second, it's a Jeep Cherokee, and, like, nobody, like, just walks in and tries to get an M3, which, you know, it is a little unusual situation. So, it's an interesting situation.
Yeah, so we end up getting a test drive by all means. It was crazy we got
because he's like, because it was brand new.
Yeah, brand new.
And he's like, I said, hey, first of all, I looked at it, and it was like love at first sight, right?
I saw his eyes lit up.
Frozen gray.
I switched
Oh, dude. So, frozen gray spec. I looked at it, red interior. I just looked at it. I'm thinking in my head, like, shit, I'm going to buy this car. This is awesome.
Yeah, so I don't think he knew how much the car was going to end up being because I think he was thinking it was RS3 category.
And I had the adrenaline going anyway because I had, like, mentally prepared to go get that RS3. And then now we're here. And I'm like, you know what? It was kind of like, you're just like, adrenaline's going, like, screw it, let's drive it.
And this is from someone who's never touched a paddle shifter in his life at that point. Like, he was fresh newbie. Never driven a car with over 200 horsepower, like complete noob. Right. And I was pretty much too at that age. Obviously, I was a young kid. I didn't have the funds to be able to get into nice cars like that, like my brother had. But you know, I would drive in his car. We've loved cars ever since that, but I ended up getting the test drive. He fell in love with the car. It was a beautiful spec. Just super rare that you got that.
So we drove the car and I said, hey, show me numbers. And, so then I got a crash course and try to negotiate, which typically, I've definitely, you don't, how not to do it is the way we did it. But you know what? We did it.
And you did actually end up paying a little bit of a markup, right?
We did. We ended up paying a little bit of markup. So he actually put a pretty stiff,
I think original
was
like
like
15.
He said it was like 15,000 over.
Markup, yeah.
And I'll be honest, I'm like, there's no, I'm not paying 15,000 over, but I think I did pay a little bit over. I think I ended up.
It was like 5. I think
it was like $5K over. So we bought the car and drove off the lot, and then which was super cool. We took it over to Presidential Detailing for full PPF. And so it's hard because you get the car and then it goes into PPF purgatory for a week. But they did a great job turning it around.
They really did. Shout out to them. So to finalize the story, this is my favorite part of this story. Is he was a complete rookie. He did not know how to drive that car like it was supposed to be driven. So my brother Gabe came over to the house to check out the car, and we have this road by our house. It's basically like a little bit of a racetrack. There's no turn-ins. It's a cool road. So we let Gabe drive, and it's under braking period. Not supposed to go over like 4 or 5K RPM.
Yeah, to keep the RPMs low. Yeah.
So Gabe started driving, and we're all in the car. We're like 4 deep. He starts ripping it, and all I saw in his eyes was, "What did I just buy?" It was the most amazing thing ever. It was the first time I've ever experienced a car like that. It's really cool to look back on that and see that that was a great first car and first experience. And
and
there's no better car to get into, honestly. Like if someone's looking to buy a car,
and I'll just say, I think getting the car. I mean, people drive nice cars for different reasons. And obviously, it's flashy. People notice it, and like I said, during that time, there weren't a lot of G80s on the road too, so it's kind of special. And I think that frozen gray.
Yeah.
With the red,
it was
really great spec.
It really was, yeah.
But it was just fun experiencing the car, and like the first time you get in a car, it actually can go. Like it has a little bit more power. Just a cool experience. So we had a lot of fun with the car, and we'll tell you more about some of the experiences.
Yeah, we've had some crazy stories and experiences with that car. It was a special car, and we can't wait to share more with you guys on that topic. But this is the first episode of Provisions Garage Stories. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Hey, and if you have questions, we love to answer. And obviously, this is low budget production.
Yeah.
But I thought it'd be cool. We thought it'd be cool just to share stories, share experiences, things we've learned. And I've learned a lot. There's a lot of great content out there, and a lot of great stories over the last 2-3 years we'd like to share, and maybe some other car topics as well that I think as we've both grown and learned more, I think it's kind of fun to talk about and debate. So
awesome.
Look forward to more content coming.
Alrighty, guys. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.